my dear friends, and welcome back to another video. Some awesome news for The Mandalorian Season 3. Mando and Bo-Katan took over the cover of Empire magazine, which goes on sale on the 16th. Din Djarin helmetless, and he's also holding the Darksaber, not to mention Grogu with his hand out, using the Force in his new pod. Now with Bo-Katan, Katie Sackhoff as always looks amazing, but notice the hair is very reminiscent of the animated style, similar hair length to what she had in the Clone Wars. The new edition also shows off some Mando helmets, and fans have noticed Boba's helmet with a dent is seen on the bottom right. I reckon this is confirmation of Boba's involvement in Season 3. We know we're returning to Tatooine, we're seeing Peli Motto and R5, so why not Boba Fett and Fennec Shand? This is awesome news. And as a lot of fans like to joke, because Mando got 2 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, it's only fair that Boba gets 2 episodes of The Mandalorian Season 3. While I'd love for him to get that much screen time, I don't think he will, but he and Fennec are going to be vital allies to Mando, and imagine if at the end of Season 3, we're going to get another post-credit scene that teases Season 2 of the Book of Boba Fett. Wouldn't that be amazing? And I also wonder, are we going to see Cobb Vanth all modded up? The Mandalorian Season 3 is really getting underway in terms of marketing. We've had so many exclusives, a lot of merch drops, character hints, teasers, and that kind of thing. And with Empire magazine giving us exclusives, it's not going to be long until Vanity Fair, Entertainment Weekly, and others also give us a new look, so expect lots of that in the coming weeks. Season 3 is so close. Now with these helmets, we can't identify many of them. We have Cosca Reeves, Axe-Woves, the Armourer, Bo-Katan, Din, and of course Boba Fett, but some of the other ones are generic Mandos. Bear in mind, there are going to be lots of clans in the 3rd season. Now I was looking for Sabine Wren, but she's not on here. They're probably saving her for the Ahsoka show, but this doesn't mean she can't appear in Mando first. She's a big surprise if she does make an appearance. They just wouldn't leak her beforehand. She's a Luke Skywalker type of appearance. If she and Ahsoka do show up, it's going to be a surprise. And would you know it, as I was making this video, Empire magazine dropped an exclusive. We have an awesome image of Din Djarin, Grogu, and Bo-Katan, and you kind of get the feeling they're setting up Bo to be a sort of adoptive mother to Grogu, although I don't think that's going to be at first. They say The Mandalorian opens up the world of Mandalore and the Mandalorians. And on the subject of the relationship between Din and Bo, Katie Sackhoff says her dynamic with Din Djarin isn't an easy one, and her tangled history doesn't hold easy options for the future. We know the family she was born into. Now what's the family she's going to choose? What does that look like? Questions Sackhoff. But she says Mandalorians always find the way. And so now, my dear friends, let's talk a little bit about The Bad Batch Season 2. Now, you're not going to want to miss tomorrow's video, because I'm going to go in depth on huge themes from episodes 7 and 8. We're now halfway through Season 2, and the mid-season double just teased an intense second half of the season. It's going to get very dark, and I think Echo going off with Rex is a real turning point in Omega's arc. I don't think she's going to recover from that. It's traumatizing. She learnt a lot of lessons in the last 2 episodes. And speaking of Echo, one of my favourite fan theories is that they're going to retcon the meaning of Echo Base on Hoth. In canon, the Rebel base is called Echo Base due to its strange acoustics, but could they retcon this to be about the clone, solidifying his importance and legacy in the saga? But I don't think we've seen the last of him. He might end up sacrificing himself or dying before the events of Star Wars Rebels, which is very likely given he wasn't with Rex, Gregor, and Wolf. And maybe, as the result of a heroic act, if he helps the early rebellion, they name the base on Hoth Echo Base after the clone. That'd be awesome. As I say, tomorrow, we're going to do a deep dive into The Bad Batch episodes 7 and 8, focusing on themes that also appear in the Andor show. But today, my dear Megalorians, we have a huge tease from D. Bradley Baker on what we can expect in the second half of Season 2. StarWars.com say, buckle up, D. Bradley Baker on what's to come in Star Wars The Bad Batch Season 2, the second half. I'm just going to highlight the key bits, the meat and potatoes. In his own words, he said, quote, in Season 2 we see an upping of the stakes in terms of what's in play with the Empire's closing of its iron fist around the galaxy. And so, as you'll see increasingly, the Batch is up against that. They spent a good amount of time trying to figure out what their place is, running missions, but not really getting directly involved. But at the same time, you have Rex and other clones like Echo stepping up and saying, we really need to get involved with this. And going forward, guys, I reckon the Bad Batch is gonna have two separate storylines, Echo and Rex doing their own thing, saving clones, maybe even Wolf, and Clone Force 99 on separate missions. Echo promises Omega he's gonna see her again, so they might reunite briefly, or maybe even permanently, but I don't see that happening straight away, and D. Bradley Baker saying Echo and Rex are gonna do their own thing kind of tells me his story with Rex is gonna be detached, and this also opens up the possibility of a separate show, another spin-off after the Bad Batch that explores the adventures of Echo and Rex. And Baker mentions the struggles Echo is faced with Hunter, the butting of heads, Echo wanting to be proactive in helping clones, and Hunter wanting to buy his freedom. He wants a life of peace. We spoke about this in the past. D. Bradley Baker says, I think Hunter's style is one of careful consideration. He's not a hothead who jumps into things. He really wants to make sure that everything makes sense. Even when they're being sent on a mission by Sid, he's the one saying, I don't know about this. And this contrasts Omega, who's always jumping into situations. She's always enthusiastic, getting the Batch in trouble at times, whereas Hunter doesn't want to do that anymore. His experiences in Season 1 taught him how dangerous the galaxy can be. Now this is the big bit. Baker teases his favourite episode of the season. It's the only other Crosshair-centric one, and we think it's going to be episode 12, The Outpost. That's one of the episodes the reviewers said is one of the best of the season after episode 3. There are very disjointed episodes in season 2, but by the end, it's all going to come together and make sense. That's what the creatives are saying. Give it a chance, and so far, my personal favourites have been episode 3, The Solitary Clone, 7 and 8, The Clone Conspiracy, and Truth and Consequences. But for D. Bradley Baker, it's an emotional Crosshair episode that's coming up. With Rampart out of the picture, what does that mean for Crosshair? Is he going to answer to Tarkin, who is arguably worse? And what are they going to do with the remaining clones now the Defense Recruitment Bill is put in place? As I've expressed in the past, I think he's going to be part of the Death Trooper program. There's going to be a stronger chip, worse than the inhibitor chips, and that is going to reprogram him completely. All sense of self-identity and personhood is going to be stripped. I reckon that's the dark fate for Crosshair. His brothers have given up on saving him, and I can't see redemption for him either. D. Bradley Baker finishes by saying now that we've reached the midpoint of season 2, he can't wait for fans to see where it goes from here. In his own words he says, the adventures, twists of plot, and turn of fates that are coming are going to be unexpected. Some will be welcome and some will not, but it's a heck of a ride. If episodes 7 and 8 are anything to go by, I believe him, this is going to be a crazy ride. And just a fun fact about the Bad Batch Season 2 Episode 8 Truth and Consequences, Palpatine's mention of stormtroopers is the first we've had in the show. And so now guys, time to talk a little bit about Jedi Survivor. IGN released the first 9 minutes of gameplay the other day, and that was awesome. The new styles of combat, new planets, new creatures, and today we're going to meet 8 of Cal Kestis' enemies. We already know about the Pau'an Senator, and of course the mysterious Jedi from the High Republic who was betrayed and was stuck in Bacta. Well, here are some of the droids, many of which are repurposed from the Clone Wars. Repurposed B-1 battle droids, B-2 super battle droids, BX droids who are much more agile, Droideka, IG-100 Magna droids, shield troopers which are a new kind of scout trooper, DT sentry droids, and finally, very reminiscent of Rogue One, KX security droid enforcers, but they say these ones are super powered. I can't wait to play the game on April 28th. Just before I go, it's time for a quiz. How well do I know the Bad Batch? Who said the Bad Batch quote? So they're going to show us the quotes and I've got to match them to who said it. Let's begin. I like to blow things up because I like to blow things up. That of course is Wrecker. Yep, you are right. Question 2. You're more machine than man, at least percentage-wise. That of course is our good friend Tick. You'll be sorry when my friends come for me. Oh, I think that's Omega. Omega. Is there an echo in here? So I think this was one of the Martez sisters in season 1 when they were fighting those droids, but was it Rafa or was it Trace? It's not Echo or Wrecker. I guess it's 50-50, I can't remember who said it. I'm gonna say Trace. Oh, a lucky guess. It's been a while, boys, that is Rex. You seem lost. See, with all of these quotes, I'm trying to envision the voice that said it. Where did we hear that and who said it? I'm going to say it was Fennec, because Omega got lost in season 1. Okay, good. Easy, she's not a soldier. That quote is of course season 1 episode 2 Cut and Run, and that is Cutler Quain to Hunter. It was all about parenting and that kind of thing. I'm not interested in a history lesson, Goggles. while Goggles gives away that it was Sid. Live to fight another day. Ooh, who said this? Was it Echo, Rex, Saw Gerrera, or Omega? I'm gonna say Echo. Yeah. I don't remember the episode, but I remember him saying it. You weren't loyal to me, that of course is Crosshair. Suit up, let's make this quick. Oh gosh, who said this? I can't remember who said this. I can. We haven't had Hunter in a while in this quiz, so I'm gonna say Hunter. I've been so lucky with these guesses. What are you gonna do? Strike us down like you did the Jedi? That is Saw Gerrera. That was when they found him and his soldiers. I know Saw Gerrera well. Emperor Palpatine's priorities have changed. I think this picture's a giveaway. That was Tarkin, wasn't it, to the Kaminoans? I don't know why I'm not just looking at these pictures. Do you still dream of flying? It's not Hera, it's her father, Sham, saying it to Hera, so Sham. Trying to throw us off. We're improvising. Oh my gosh, who said this? This picture is throwing me off because I was thinking Sid, but then again, no, she wouldn't say that. We're improvising. It wouldn't be Wrecker. Would it be Omega? Sounds like something she'd say. We're improvising. No, it's Hera, or as her mum would call her, Ira. Yes. Okay. I got all of them. This was genuinely more challenging than all of the other quizzes. Usually it's like personality tests and that kind of thing. But I got all 15. Well, there you go, guys. You should take the quiz if you want to. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. May the Force be with you always.